Okay, welcome back to the program. You're listening to Seminole Sideline 365. And whether you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on various podcasts that we have out there, this is Bruce, aka the old man, or aka Bruce. Either one, I don't care. You prefer, you take it. I want to give you an update on my feelings about the Florida State men's basketball program. But first of all, if you're a loyal viewer, you've already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button for us. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, and leave us some comments. We like our viewers to interchange comments with each other. That really gives us the energy to move forward. Okay? So what I'd like to say is I wasn't even going to run this program. I didn't want to run this program, but I felt I needed to after the game I watched last night when Florida State in the home court at the Tucker Center with a good crowd there came up short against Clemson in what I felt was a game they should have won. A game that they should have won if it wasn't for some very poor coaching in the last 45, 30 seconds of this game. They had the game pretty much in their favor throughout the second half, including the first half. It was a strong performance by the team. But the final 45 seconds, in which a lot of basketball games could be won or lost, and especially with this team that is not super talented and has struggled, they had a chance to really knock off one of the ACC leaders in Clemson on their home court here at the Tucker Center. But that didn't happen. In fact, I had a tweet ready to go that says Noles knock off the Clemson Tigers, but it didn't happen. And that infuriated me because what I saw in the final seconds of the game. And I'm not going to go through picture by picture of what happened. If you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. And in that game, okay, in the final few seconds, when it was critical that we inbound the ball and then we knew Clemson would foul us, the first guy we inbound the ball to at the far end of the court is a freshman on our team. A freshman. Okay? I don't care how good a freshman. He's a freshman. He's a first-year player. And of course, that played right into the Clemson Tigers' hands. That's who they wanted to put the ball's hand. With final seconds on the clock, he had to make 2 of those free throws. He made 1 out of 2. I want the ball in an experienced player's hands. I don't want it in a freshman's hands. And this is no disrespect to the freshman. It is a coaching error. This is a coaching where with Coach Ham, got out-coached by Clemson. They fell right into what Clemson wanted to do to try to take back this game. And eventually, we hit 1 out of 2. Clemson comes down. They make a 2-point shot with a drive all the way to the basket. Florida State had no timeouts to set up a defense, and Clemson wins the game. Okay, now you can challenge how the sequence of plays there. The bottom line was we got out-coached at the end of this game, and we lost the game, which brings up the topic of Coach Ham. Okay. Coach Ham, nice guy. Everybody in Tallahassee likes Coach Ham. He's been here. He's a fixture here 20 plus years. He's got his 600th win. We've already talked about that on a previous program. I'm not going to rehash that. Some of you may not like what I have to say or why I'm on today. You may not like what you're hearing from me. But we are raw and unfiltered here. We have to understand the clock is ticking on Coach Ham. The clock is ticking. And I like the guy. I think personally he's had a great career. But he has not shown the ability now to recruit players, elite players into this program over the last few years. And He's not winning games at a consistent level that this program deserves. That this program deserves. It is time for athletic director, which I've been tweeting about, athletic director Mike Alford. And I know Mike Alford is, whether he's listening to this program or not, I could care less. Mike Alford needs to understand you promised excellence in all FSU sports programs, and that is your responsibility. The men's basketball program is not working up to performance standards that you set, Mike Alford, that you told FSU fans you were about. So it's time for you to make considerations. Now, we can make excuses, as a lot of fans do, soft fans do. Injuries, Baba Miller didn't play for 17 games. It's just a variety of excuses, but these are excuses. Every team has issues, okay? But we are not showing consistency to be an elite team. There's no reason that this Florida State team shouldn't be ranked in the top 20, 25 teams in the country every year and be invited to the NCAA March Madness every year. I think that's a low expectation, but it is a minimum expectation for this program. And we should have that. Florida State currently, for this season, 7 wins and 15 losses. And a lot of these losses have been blowouts getting blown out by their opponents. The other night, against arch rival Miami in the Tucker Center, we get blown out of that game. Get blown out. We didn't do well against Miami's backups in the game. I think the team quit. I think our team quit. It showed it on the court. And Coach Ham might have lost this team. He really might have lost his team. But this loss last night against Clemson must have been devastating for this team. And they will replay the final 30 seconds of this game in their minds of why this went wrong. The thing that I find miraculous is that we're 5-6 in the ACC, about middle of the pack, which is amazing for this team at this point. That's a credit to Coach Ham and staff and this team that they are 5-6. They had a chance to be 6-6, which is good. This ACC conference is not as strong this year as I would say it normally would be. Okay. I am saying again, and I'm not going to get into individual players. We'll talk about that again down the road. We've got some decent individual players, but the things that Coach Ham has been known for, especially defense, there is no defense on this team. There is a lack of consistent scoring on this team. There is no consistent three-point shooter on this team. There are a number of issues that are unresolved on this team, and this team is struggling this year, and it doesn't look like it's going to change much next year. Coach Ham was given an extension through 2024. The big question now for this Florida State men's basketball team is whether or not Coach Ham will go one more year in 2024, or does athletic director Mike Alford decide to change directions and ask Coach Ham to step aside. We've got a little bit of the Bobby Bowden, who's I love, a syndrome here in that we have a beloved coach who doesn't maybe know it's time to go. And that's where we are. The question is, what will Mike Alford decide to do? Will Coach Cam take the next step and do the right thing and decide it is time for a change? And that change cannot include his longtime assistant being made the head coach. That would be a disaster. We need a change of coaching staff for this men's basketball team to get back to a competitive, consistent, and elite status, which I don't think finishing in the top 25 teams in the country each year is too much to ask. Be very interested in your thoughts and comments. You can drop them below. Okay. Tell us what you think. And we're going to be doing more basketball, because even though I hear this infuriating statement all the time, well, we're a football school, I want to put my booster money towards football. I don't care about the basketball team, whether they win or lose. That is ridiculous to even say that, to think that everything is subordinate to football, which, of course, that's what we do. We love football. But to think that you only care about football tells me a lot about what you are as a fan, okay? And whether you like what I'm saying or not, I don't really care, all right? You can let me know below. But you got to care about men's basketball. You got to care about men's baseball. You got to care about men's soccer. You got to care about all the women's sports. They're all athletes at Florida State University. They're all student athletes at Florida State University, and they deserve your attention, okay? And there's no reason that a school can't be elite in football and elite in basketball and elite in baseball, which are the three major sports here. You should have elite programs when you're at Florida State. And Mike Alford, that's your job to make sure that happens. This is Bruce, aka the Old Man, and that's my basketball catch-up for you. And I look forward to hearing from you. Drop the comments below. KB and I will be back soon together, and we'll be talking to you more on Seminole Sidelines. Please subscribe, hit that like button, leave us some comments. Have a great day.